Day 25.
24.
Yes, it's the 25th. But yes, you're right. Day 24. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing
It's been
good.
so long since I've seen you. It really has.
I know.
You know, it's been at least 2.5 minutes. I'm
I
pretty sure.
know. What? We just finished
I miss you,
Thor Dark World.
Dark World. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We are making our way through the Marvel universe again, chronological order. But I will say again. As I said to you earlier. Second time I've watched that movie. That's not a movie I've watched too many times, but it was better. I think especially better in context. It still is not necessarily one that I would say is my favorite of any category of Marvel movies, but it was better. I think it was better watching it.
Yeah, it was. I did. I enjoyed this more on this watch than previous watches. And again, I do love. I mean, I love Natalie Portman, but I really love Kat Dennings.
Oh, yeah, and again, I think that's it's interesting. Again, it's like any kind of perspective you talk about. It's like when you know a character from a different means and you see him and you're relating to him in general. And I'm speaking of Two Broke Girls again, which I think is the second time we called that show out. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying her character as a side character, and
Yeah.
brought her back in WandaVision, and I almost want to see the story of her. Seems like that might be worth it. But that's not what
Darcy's
we're
story.
here to talk about. It's actually
It's
not why
not.
we're here. Not at
It's
all.
not.
But to the promise. So day 24. I'm going to say it right this time. I think it's my turn to start.
Let her rip.
Yeah, I mean, overall, another day that I'm happy with. Majority of any time that I spent to the promise was definitely in walks, taking full advantage on these beautiful, gorgeous days we've had. Yesterday included. Today, I did it 3 times. I took 3 different walks, mainly taking advantage of moments in between some of the meetings I had. Didn't really feel like I had enough time to get into a book or go into a full meditation, but I certainly could step away from a computer, get out into the sunshine, and kind of enjoy that a little bit. So that for the most part is I think is where a lot of my time went. I was trying to think. I feel like I may have had some interesting insights from the day, but I think a lot of it just boils down to still my continued evaluation of the balance I need to maintain between my obsession and passion and different things I really like to do, and kind of how to marry that with a stable and kind of healthy lifestyle, if you will. I give a lot of credit to it, just a couple handful of things. Like I had a little piece of office swag that I'm kind of developing. I always think it's funny for someone that's as obsessive as I am to be able to have a product that I was not happy with last night, somehow managed to put that out of my head for close to 24 hours before I went back into it. But the funny thing about going back into it, I managed to have enough time to reflect on what is the right approach, and it ended up being like a 15-minute update and change, and
Yeah.
I think I'm going to get what I like. So I get it. Maybe that is, or maybe that isn't exactly attributed to the 45-minute promise, but I think some of the clarity of focus, especially that I continue to see in this exercise of directive energy and just the way my brain is thinking, I'm seeing instances where something that might take me a half hour, just it's less time, but I think it's just the focused mind. I think some of that discipline is weaving its way into the everyday lifestyle. So I feel
Awesome.
good today. I got a lot of I'm gonna ride this positive energy wave as long as I can. I got some good stuff going on right now, so I'm gonna try to keep that going. But at the same time, this ain't hurting. So that's my brief summary. I don't. But
Yeah.
how are you doing? We've watched a movie. We've had a little bit of a date night, but we still haven't really talked. So again, this tends to be the forum that we're catching up, at least to the high levels.
Yeah. And today was good. Today felt better. Um, I would say today felt good. Like, even though I'm a little achy getting back into some of my workouts and things like that, I think I'm like, nutrition wise, I'm doing really well with just like collagen and different things that I add to my smoothies. A lot of that, like the turmeric, getting back into really being very religious about the things that I know make me feel better. Um, yeah, I mean, I got a decent workout in. I got one short meditation. I'm going to do another before bed. And I would say probably the only thing is I didn't quite hit the hangry point, but I was getting there.
Well, you're doing
Taking,
intermittent fasting, so yeah.
well, yeah, it does work for me. Um, that doesn't actually, I shouldn't have, at the point that I hit the hangry, I shouldn't have, um, it was the only reason why it didn't happen because of the intermittent fasting. That actually happened because I thought that I was going to just pop over to IKEA with Gianni, buy him the sectional, and leave. And because I just figured, so there was virtually nobody in IKEA. I mean, you could even tell from the parking lot, but there are also very few people working there. And they have a lot of protocols in place. Everybody, I mean, honestly, still people very, very helpful when you could find them. Um, but when you got down to the pickup spot for the stuff, not the stocked area, this was where you have to go to actually, they pull it from the back and bring it out to you. You scan a QR code, put your information in, and then they'll text you when it's ready. And I mean, a couple of people came and checked with us a couple of times, or I should say we went and checked with them. And then it got to the point where it was like 40 minutes. And I like snatched the papers from Gianni and I go over and I'm like, so I'm just curious about this order, just, and, you're masked up and everything. So it's like just a lot of, um, so they basically, they got it. They said it'd be about 10 minutes. So we pulled the cars around. So we'd be right there at the loading. And, no, it was actually, I mean, honestly, from a self-growth perspective, this was the first time other than, yeah, other than maybe minor, we've barely even Zoomed with Gianni.
Not really, and not a lot of our nieces and nephews.
No,
Sadly to say, I don't
yeah.
think it's not been anything intentional, but the
Well,
connection,
I did hang out in the garage of Anna's building with Gianni and Emma and Anna and Miguel one night. Like, we were just in the garage in that building. It was a weird circumstance that put us all there at the one time. So yeah, I did get to see him a little bit then. And then when he's come to either drop off or pick up stuff for a second at the back loading dock, that's like it. So it was nice because it was just me and him, and we went around because he basically has nothing for his condo. I mean, he's not really ever, I mean, he's lived with his girlfriend, and like, he doesn't have a lot of furniture anyway. So it wasn't like he,
1920. So yeah, no, of course
yeah,
nobody does at that age.
yeah,
That's not unusual. He does have a nice 3D printed logo that we have yet to gift him with, but I mean,
right.
I figure that he's probably not watching these videos, so me saying that is probably okay.
Probably a safe bet. Yeah,
Probably a safe bet, at least for now. But
yeah.
yeah,
But
I'm
he
sure he'll be
does,
fine.
while he doesn't have furniture, he does have a pretty amazing um, sublimation printer and a heat
Hmm.
press. So, it's pretty solid
Maker's
on that.
Maker's gonna make. I know that.
Maker's
All
gonna
right.
make. And that was
Yeah.
actually something really funny about the sectional that he got. The I figured out like why it wouldn't let me buy it online and all this stuff. Their customer support, I wish I could have taken back the survey I did about it, because in hindsight, so I'd given him a great review. And in hindsight, I should have given him a horrible review based on what I learned when I went into the store. So Um,
So you're the one.
well,
I'm joking. No, way
no,
off
it
topic.
really, yeah, no, it was just odd. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't, yeah, it's just IKEA. It's fine. It's fine. But this sectional that it got, it basically is similar to the sectionals that we're looking at. Like it can be moved around however you want. So you can have a chase and the sofa or a couple of chairs, like all that kind of stuff. So it's nice. But all of the covers are just slip covers that are zipped on. And the reviews are decent for it. I mean, it's IKEA. I mean, you know, you're not paying a lot. You know, you're gonna get what you get. But I sat on it, felt nice. It was nice. There's a lot of people like on Etsy and everything that do customizations of it. They make their own slip covers, they make their own legs to boost it up, make it a little taller, because you know, apparently Swedish people are shorter because a lot of IKEA stuff is lower to the ground. Um, but nevertheless, you know, we were saying if they didn't have the gray slip covers that he wanted, the covers for it, he could always make them. You know, he could just pull off whichever ones are there if he couldn't find the pattern online, and he can just make his own because that's what he does. And he happened to say, because I said, you know, you could just you could get painter's drop cloth from like Lowe's and make them and dye them whatever you want, super cheap and everything. And he said what he could do is go to Lowe's and buy AstroTurf and turn the sofa into an AstroTurf sofa. And I was like, so that is now going to have to happen because you said it.
You know, has absolutely nothing to do with what our audience expects in this.
Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. But
No,
it
no,
was
no,
so
no, no,
gross.
no,
So
no,
back to
don't apologize, because I will just say, you're right. AstroTurf couch. Yeah, that should happen. Yeah, so
except they
maybe
have a
that was
cat.
supposed to be announced. You know, I apologize to anybody who is like trying to hold us accountable for direct content management here, because we are going way off the radar.
But they have a cat. I'm not sure how a cat's going to
Oh, it's gonna piss all over that, but that's beside the point. But, you know,
yeah, right?
yeah, it's gonna be a whole litter box going on there. It's like I'm not saying it's a good idea. I just say it's, hey, I watch that show.
All right. Well, that was I did feel like that was actually
No,
um
good. Yeah. Well, hey, actually, even I think having a moment to spend time, you know, especially in this context, with people, it's a special thing, and
yeah,
I don't think that I think that definitely qualifies. I'm a big believer in the perspective thing. We've called that a few times, where opportunities to speak to somebody, and you know, clearly, you know, your nephew is, you know, he's a brilliant kid. I mean, by all means, you know, so it's kind of fun to watch, you know, because we all go through the same things as we go through different ages, and you know, the
yeah,
different versions of that, and how it continues to manifest, and um, but clearly, you know, we're all still blessed. So I do know that the problems that are going on there is like that's not even close to real world. But God bless him for not having to face the real world right now. I'm still glad he doesn't. Maybe. Anyways, I've had a good day though. I've
yeah,
appreciated that, and you know, I will say I think today is one of the days we mentioned this last night briefly about the habit forming and how long it takes to form a habit.
hmm
um, Today felt like it hit that mark because it felt very natural, and it was one of those things where it was just woven into my mindset of looking for opportunities where I could take a few minutes. I knew
yeah,
today was going to be the day it was going to be, but the opportunities I found were very valuable, and I really appreciated those. So
yeah,
again, you know, 3 weeks in, it's not as it's kind of like any other exercise. It doesn't feel quite as laborious as it did,
yeah,
and it still is rewarding. So good
yeah,
times.
yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've walked the dogs. I don't know if we give them a treat yet. That may or may not need to happen, but we have.
We did, but now you said the T word and
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that you know,
I think they're
it's
both upstairs with you. Yeah, I don't see
yeah,
them.
they do that. They hang here. So yeah, but regardless, I think we may have another show or so to watch. But
Yeah,
I think this is a good night.
I think so. Love you.
To our 3 fans, we love you. Thank you so much for your support.
You're giving us
You
a
know,
lot of credit.
you know, please one of you comment on one of these videos, because for Christ's sake, nobody's commenting yet. So give us a little love.
Are
I
you
don't know.
watching the comments? don't watch the.
I'm actually not. I'm playing a part because you watch the comments. Do you think I really care? No. Actually, I love all of you. I didn't mean it that way. I love all of you. All right, I think we should close this before we get everybody pissed off. I just think.
Right.
All right. Good night. Day 24.